When your cat follows you from room to room, do you actually know what that means? Yes, it seems like they just want your attention, like they're being clingy or curious. But behind that simple behavior, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally intimate things your cat can do. And if you ignore it, which most owners do, you might miss one of the clearest ways your cat is trying to bond with you. Let's start with what that quiet following really means. Have you ever noticed how your cat quietly gets up and walks after you, even when nothing interesting is happening? Most people think it's curiosity. Maybe they assume the cat is bored or just looking for food. Here's what's actually happening. Your cat is choosing proximity. Cats are independent by nature. In the wild, unnecessary movement wastes energy. It exposes them. It creates risk. So when your cat decides to follow you, it's not random. It's intentional. Think about that for a second. They're not chasing a toy. They're not reacting to noise. They're choosing you. And by the way, if your cat ever follows you and then just sits quietly near you without asking for anything, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means at the end. And it's something most owners wish they understood sooner. Because this isn't about needing something. It's about wanting someone, and that changes everything. Have you ever walked into another room and your cat followed, only to settle down calmly once they're near you? Most people assume that's just habit. But here's what's actually happening. A 2019 study from Oregon State University found that cats form secure attachment bonds with their humans, similar to how infants bond with caregivers. But what does that actually mean for you? It means your presence regulates your cat's emotional state. Behavioral scientists have observed that cats use proximity, not constant touch, but being near as a way to feel safe. They don't always need to sit on you, they just need to know where you're. Think about that for a second. Your cat isn't just following you physically, they're orienting themselves emotionally. And here's where it gets even more powerful. When they follow you and then relax, it means your presence lowered their internal stress. That's not habit. That's security. Have you ever noticed your cat walking ahead of you, then stopping, then continuing as you move? Most people think it's random wandering, but here's what's actually happening. Cats build their world through scent and spatial familiarity. Studies on domestic cats reveal that they map their environment using scent markers and movement patterns. And when they follow you, they're syncing their map with you in it. Cats have scent glands around their face, tail, and even subtle areas near their body that transfer scent through movement and contact. So when they walk where you walk, pause where you pause, they're reinforcing a shared space. Think about that for a second. They're not just living in your home, they're building a world where you are part of their territory. And here's what makes this even more meaningful. They're not claiming space, they're claiming connection. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Have you ever seen a kitten follow its mother around, step by step, room to room, always close? Most people don't connect that behavior to adult cats. But here's what's actually happening. In early life, kittens follow their mother to learn safety, hunting, and survival patterns. Researchers who study feline behavior call this proximity learning. It's how kittens understand the world. And even as they grow up, that instinct doesn't disappear. It adapts. So when your adult cat follows you now, they're using one of the oldest survival behaviors they have. Think about that for a second. Out of all the instincts they could keep, they kept this one. And here's where it gets even more powerful. They've reassigned that role to you. You're not just someone in their environment. You're the reference point they trust to move through it. That's ancient. Instinctive. Deep. Now. Ask yourself this honestly. Does your cat follow every person in your home like that? Visitors? Strangers? Most of the time, no. Most people assume cats treat everyone the same. But here's what's actually happening. Animal cognition research shows that cats choose specific individuals based on predictability, emotional consistency, and trust. That means your cat isn't just following movement. They're following a person they feel safe around. Think about that for a second. Following someone reduces distance. It limits escape routes. It requires trust. And yet, They choose you for that closeness, and here's where it becomes even more meaningful. This isn't automatic. It's built. Every calm interaction, every time you respected their space, every moment you didn't force contact. It all added up. So now, when they follow you, it's not random. It's preference. You are their safe place. Have you ever noticed your cat follow you and then just stay nearby? No meowing, no touching, no demands. Just presence. Most people overlook this completely. But here's what's actually happening. In the wild. Animals avoid unnecessary proximity. Distance equals safety. Reaction time equals survival. So choosing to stay close without needing anything is a risk. Think about that for a second. Your cat is lowering their guard without asking for anything in return. And this is what most owners never realize. That quiet following isn't about attention. It's about trust without conditions. Remember earlier when I said if your cat follows you and just sits quietly, don't ignore it? This is what I was talking about. That moment. Is your cat saying, I feel safe just being near you? No demands. No expectations. Just trust. That's not small. That's profound. What happens when your cat suddenly stops following you? Maybe they used to trail behind you everywhere, and now they don't. Most people assume it's nothing, but here's what's actually happening. Changes in proximity. Behavior can signal a shift. It could be stress, environmental change, emotional discomfort, even health-related issues. Studies in feline behavior show that reduced social proximity is often one of the earliest signs that something feels off. Think about that for a second. The behavior you once ignored was actually a signal, and now its absence is another signal. This is where most owners get it wrong. They notice when their cat demands attention, but they miss when their cat quietly withdraws it. So if your cat stops following you, don't ignore it. Pause. Observe. Check what's changed. Because sometimes distance says more than closeness ever did. So when your cat follows you from room to room, do you actually know what that means? It's not just curiosity. It's not just habit. It's your cat choosing to stay close, choosing to feel safe, choosing you as their reference point in the world. That's not simple behavior. That's trust. And that quiet presence, the one you barely notice, it was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.